The glittering world of Hollywood, with its bright red carpets, flashing cameras, and seemingly flawless human beings, has always maintained an almost magical hold over our collective imagination. From a distance, the celebrities who inhabit this rarefied space appear more like modern deities than ordinary flesh and blood. We watch them on massive silver screens, stream their music during our most emotional moments, and follow their carefully curated lives through the polished lens of social media. They project an aura of warmth, humility, and extraordinary grace, leading millions of everyday people to invest their time, money, and emotional energy into supporting their careers. For decades, the unspoken contract between stars and their admirers was maintained through heavily managed public relations campaigns, glossy magazine profiles, and brief, tightly controlled public appearances. The industry worked tirelessly to ensure that the illusion remained intact, protecting the lucrative brands of the world's biggest icons by keeping a thick, impenetrable wall between the talent and the public. We were taught to believe that these larger-than-life figures were just as wonderful in reality as the characters they portrayed or the anthems they sang. This carefully constructed fantasy created a culture of deep admiration, where fans naturally assumed that meeting their favorite artist, actor, or television personality would be a life-changing moment of pure joy and validation. However, the dawn of the digital age and the meteoric rise of social media platforms have permanently shattered that protective barrier, completely transforming how the public interacts with fame. Today, a single post can bypass millions of dollars in public relations defense mechanisms, allowing ordinary citizens to share their unvarnished, real-world experiences with a global audience in a matter of seconds. The glossy facade that once protected the entertainment elite is rapidly fading, revealing a stark and often deeply unsettling reality that lies beneath the glamour. A viral movement recently ignited on TikTok when a popular creator asked a simple yet loaded question, inviting social media users to open up about the absolute rudest encounters they had ever experienced with famous individuals. The response was nothing short of a massive, avalanche-like outpouring of stories from everyday people, retail employees, hospitality workers, flight attendants, and former childhood professionals. These individuals stepped forward to lift the curtain on what actually happens when the cameras stop rolling and the stage lights go down. The resulting revelations have sent shockwaves across the internet, serving as a brutal and sobering reminder that the people we worship from afar are often entirely different behind closed doors. It turns out that admiring our favorite icons from the safe, comfortable distance of a digital screen might be the only way to keep our fandom intact, as stepping into their actual orbit frequently leads to heartbreaking disappointment. Before we dive deep into these shocking accounts and explore the heavy toll of shattered illusions, take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into the untold realities of the entertainment world. For generations, the golden rule of fandom has always been a cautionary one, warning us to never meet our heroes lest we find ourselves deeply disillusioned by their humanity. Yet, nothing quite prepares an ordinary person for the sheer level of arrogance, hostility, and entitlement that some of the world's most celebrated figures allegedly display when they think the rest of the world isn't watching. The stories pouring out of this viral digital confessional paint a fascinating and deeply troubling picture of how immense wealth and unchecked fame can warp human behavior. We often forget that the hospitality workers, gate agents, restaurant staff, and casual onlookers who cross paths with these celebrities are real people with their own lives, feelings, and professional dignity. When a famous person treats an ordinary worker with utter disdain, it leaves a lasting scar that no amount of cinematic achievement or musical genius can ever truly erase. The sheer volume of consistent testimonies regarding specific individuals suggests that these are not merely isolated incidents of someone having a bad day, but rather systemic patterns of behavior deeply embedded in the culture of modern stardom. The contrast between a celebrity's carefully manufactured public persona and their private conduct is a fascinating study in human psychology, revealing how easily the illusion of kindness can be weaponized for commercial success while the reality remains incredibly cold. As we begin to unravel these jaw-dropping encounters, we look at the various industries where these everyday interactions take place, from high-end luxury retail boutiques in major metropolitan areas to the crowded floors of bustling casinos. These environments serve as the ultimate proving grounds for a celebrity's true character, stripping away the scripted lines and public relations handlers to reveal how they interact with the people who keep the gears of society turning. When the spotlight is turned off, the mask frequently slips, exposing a level of pretension that leaves ordinary fans completely stunned and mortified. Throughout this multi-part investigative report, we will meticulously examine these viral stories, analyzing the specific details that have left the internet completely divided and forever altered how many view their former idols. We will look at how childhood dreams were instantly crushed in casual family restaurants, how flight attendants dealing with stressful high-altitude environments were met with baffling hostility, and how simple gestures of polite admiration from ordinary citizens were answered with shocking gestures of disrespect. This journey through the dark underbelly of celebrity culture forces us to reevaluate our own relationship with fame and ask ourselves why we afford so much cultural power to individuals who so easily discard basic human decency. In the segments that follow, the details will become increasingly intense as we explore specific, highly detailed accounts involving some of the absolute biggest names in music, cinema, and television. The narrative moves from the exclusive shopping districts of Texas to the high-stakes gaming tables of Nevada, charting a trail of broken expectations and frustrated bystanders. We will hear about unbelievable demands made behind closed doors, instances where generosity was actively thwarted by jealousy, and moments where the innocent enthusiasm of young children was met with cold, unyielding rejection. The atmosphere grows heavy as we realize just how pervasive this behavior truly is across the entire spectrum of the entertainment industry. Each story serves as a building block in a larger, highly compelling narrative about the true cost of modern idolatry, setting the stage for a complete exposure of the dark side of fame. Stay tuned as we prepare to transition into the core of these shocking revelations, where the specific names, dates, and devastating details of these celebrity encounters will be laid bare, fundamentally changing the way you look at Hollywood forever. The curtain truly drops when we look at the specific, highly detailed accounts left by those who had their illusions shattered in the most unexpected places. One of the most glaring examples of this jarring contrast between public persona and private reality allegedly took place within the quiet, exclusive confines of a luxury designer boutique at the Houston Galleria. According to a former employee who happened to be working the morning shift, global music icon Beyoncé arrived precisely at opening time, immediately establishing an atmosphere of intense tension and absolute control. The staff had expected a routine VIP shopping experience, but what unfolded was a series of demands that completely disrupted the store and left the workers feeling entirely diminished. The superstar reportedly demanded that the boutique doors be locked immediately to shut out the public, and she insisted on being served wine while she browsed the collection. Furthermore, she allegedly ordered the staff to turn off the store's standard background playlist and replace it exclusively with her own music. As she navigated the floor, the situation deteriorated rapidly. She reportedly pulled garments from the racks carelessly, stepping directly on items, spilling wine on expensive luxury merchandise, and ultimately walking out of the boutique without purchasing a single item, leaving behind a massive, chaotic mess for the staff to clean up. What made the encounter truly heartbreaking, however, was what happened right outside those locked glass doors. A 5-year-old child had been waiting patiently in the mall corridor for hours, clutching a compact disc in her tiny hands, hoping against hope for a quick autograph from her ultimate idol. When the singer finally exited, she reportedly bypassed the little girl entirely, refusing to even acknowledge her presence, leaving the young fan standing in absolute tears. This pattern of cold indifference and sudden hostility from highly celebrated public figures extends far beyond the world of pop music and deep into the realms of Hollywood cinema. For many fans, comedic actors represent a source of comfort, warmth, and reliable joy, making personal encounters with them particularly vulnerable to deep disappointment. A pedestrian running late for work in a bustling city center accidentally bumped into legendary comedic actor Will Ferrell on a crowded sidewalk. The startled commuter immediately looked up and apologized profusely for the accidental collision, expecting a brief moment of mutual understanding or perhaps a casual laugh from a man famous for playing goofy, light-hearted characters. Instead, the actor reportedly locked eyes with the commuter and uttered the phrase, "Look out where you are going," with a look of pure, unadulterated disgust etched across his face, completely draining the situation of any humanity. A similarly shocking transformation occurred in a high-end restaurant in Beverly Hills, where a 10-year-old child was dining quietly with family. Spotting Hollywood power couple Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher at a nearby table, the young fan politely approached to ask for a simple photograph to remember the special day. Rather than offering a gentle refusal or a brief smile, Kunis reportedly turned toward the child, flipped her middle finger directly into the young fan's face, and abruptly walked out of the establishment, leaving her partner behind to offer an apology for her inexplicable and aggressive behavior. The glitz and glamour of the Las Vegas Strip provide yet another high-stakes arena where the masks of major celebrities frequently slip, often revealing a stunning level of entitlement and greed that shocks even the most seasoned casino workers. In one incredibly consistent set of testimonies from different casino employees, a fascinating dynamic unfolded at a craps table inside a premier luxury resort. Well-known actor Ben Affleck, who is widely recognized within the gaming industry as an incredibly generous and frequent high-stakes tipper, was playing a lengthy session handled by a veteran dealer. At the conclusion of his successful run, the actor expressed his gratitude to the hard-working dealer by leaving a massive, life-changing tip valued at approximately $5,000. However, before the dealer could fully process or collect the generous gratuity, pop superstar Jennifer Lopez allegedly swept onto the casino floor, walked directly up to the table, and boldly grabbed the entire stack of chips right back off the green felt, declaring the amount far too high and leaving the stunned casino worker with absolutely nothing for her hours of meticulous labor. The sheer audacity of the action reportedly left even Affleck himself visibly uncomfortable, as he offered his partner a thoroughly dirty look but did not interfere, illustrating how the chaotic influence of fame can easily dismantle basic acts of human generosity. The dark side of celebrity entitlement becomes even more profoundly unsettling when it involves individuals who have built an entire public brand around concepts of body positivity, kindness, inclusivity, and progressive social values. A hospitality worker at a popular metropolitan bar recalled an evening when pop artist Lizzo arrived with her entourage just as the staff was actively locking the doors and preparing to close down for the night. In an effort to be accommodating and provide excellent service to a high-profile guest, the bartender decided to unlock the doors and serve the group anyway. Despite this exceptional level of professional accommodation, the singer reportedly refused to leave a single dollar as a tip for the extra labor. To make matters worse, an enthusiastic young fan sitting nearby began politely praising the artist's work and expressing deep admiration. Rather than offering a basic thank you, the singer reportedly turned around with intense attitude, snapped the phrase, "You want a picture or what?" and displayed a complete lack of care or appreciation for the very person supporting her career. In a separate and equally disturbing industry account, a former child model recalled an experience on a high-fashion commercial set where television personality Chrissy Teigen arrived exceptionally late and visibly intoxicated. The celebrity reportedly began actively bullying the young children on set, pointing directly at one particular child who was dealing with a temporary breakout of youth acne and loudly mocking them by stating she did not know she had signed up for an acne medication commercial, while her partner John Legend sat by in complete unyielding silence. Even within the highly regulated and professional confines of commercial and private aviation, where safety and decorum are paramount, flight crews frequently find themselves on the receiving end of baffling celebrity hostility. A dedicated flight attendant recounted a pre-departure beverage service in the first-class cabin where actress Laverne Cox was seated while wearing a large, protective face shield that made visual communication exceptionally difficult. Believing that the passenger might not have heard or seen the initial offer due to the barrier, the flight attendant politely spoke up a bit louder to ensure her comfort. The actress reportedly spun around with intense irritation and snapped, "If I wanted something, I would speak to you," permanently altering the crew member's perception of her public character. Meanwhile, in the world of private aviation, superstar Tom Cruise reportedly flew into a private terminal and issued an absolute demand that the entire aircraft be turned around on the tarmac specifically so that his descent down the stairs would remain completely invisible to any nearby airport workers or casual onlookers. Though the intense effort at maintaining total privacy was undercut when he reportedly lost his footing and stumbled down the final steps anyway. As these accounts pile up, the tension continues to build, painting a vivid picture of an elite class completely disconnected from the reality of the ordinary people who serve them. setting the stage for even more profound revelations about how deep this cultural disconnect truly runs. The sheer scale of these shocking revelations reveals a deeper, more profound systemic problem within the vast machinery of modern stardom, showing us that the issue is not just isolated instances of bad moods, but a structural culture of deep-seated entitlement. As we delve further into the final accounts of this viral digital reckoning, we see how the grand illusion of celebrity kindness is thoroughly dismantled across every single sector of the entertainment world. For instance, the legendary country music artist Shania Twain allegedly exhibited an extraordinary level of demanding behavior during a performance stop in Vancouver. A hotel front desk employee revealed that the singer's management demanded the immediate purchase of thousands of dollars worth of specialized air purifiers and industrial humidifiers just for a temporary stay. To make matters worse, she allegedly informed the hospitality venue that they should feel exceptionally lucky that she would even deign to stay under their roof, while simultaneously enforcing a strict, mandatory rule that standard hotel staff members were absolutely forbidden from looking her directly in the eyes or speaking to her under any circumstances. This baffling level of extreme isolation and forced subservience is mirrored in the classical comedy world, where legendary television star Jerry Seinfeld allegedly operates under a similarly rigid set of guidelines. Venue management teams are reportedly warned well in advance that the only employee allowed to speak to the comedian is the official stage manager. If any ordinary worker dares to break this protocol and offer a simple greeting, the star will reportedly retreat directly into his waiting limousine and refuse to emerge until he feels he has received a sufficient amount of groveling, formal apologies, and deep repentance from the upper management team. These chilling encounters demonstrate how easily the heavy mantle of fame can completely erode basic human empathy, transforming beloved cultural figures into distant, hostile entities who view ordinary citizens as mere obstacles or nuisances. A particularly heartbreaking example involved rock musician and actor Jared Leto after a major 30 Seconds to Mars concert event. A fan who had waited hours to meet him observed the girl ahead of her in line, who was overflowing with immense joy and nervous excitement to finally share a brief moment with her idol. When the excited girl gently placed her arm around the musician to pose for a long-awaited photograph, the singer reportedly pushed her away and told her to get off him because she was sweaty and smelled terrible. The young fan was completely mortified and broke down into tears right on the spot, her long-cherished dream instantly transformed into a lifelong public humiliation. In a similar vein of sudden, unprovoked hostility, a casual traveler spotted rising indie pop star Chappell Roan walking through the airport terminal in Palm Springs. Hoping for a brief moment of connection, the fan smiled, gave a polite wave, and said a warm hello. Instead of a simple nod, the artist reportedly rolled her eyes with immense disdain and kept walking, while her two companions immediately began snickering and laughing at the rejected fan, proving that even the newest generation of internet-famous icons can quickly adopt the worst habits of the old Hollywood elite. The consequences of crossing paths with these fragile celebrity egos can sometimes extend far beyond emotional disappointment, occasionally threatening an ordinary person's actual livelihood and professional career. A veteran entertainment journalist recalled interviewing a teenage Shailene Woodley on a major Hollywood red carpet right at the absolute beginning of her acting career. When the reporter politely asked the young, up-and-coming actress to state her full name for the official audio log, the performer allegedly became so profoundly offended by the fact that the journalist did not already know who she was that she utilized her industry connections to have the reporter completely fired from her job, illustrating a terrifying level of vindictive narcissist behavior. Even icons of daytime television, who have spent decades building an entire commercial empire on the explicit promise of spreading kindness and joy, are not immune to these shocking behavioral shifts when the bright studio lights are turned off. During a massive public book signing event in New York City back in 2012, talk show host Ellen DeGeneres reportedly arrived exceptionally late, displaying an intensely annoyed, deeply snobby, and constant eye-rolling expression that instantly killed the joyful mood of the hundreds of eager fans who had waited in line for hours. However, the absolute second the official news cameras arrived to document the event, her demeanor instantly transformed, and she suddenly pretended to be everyone's absolute best friend, demonstrating how easily warmth can be manufactured for the public while complete coldness reigns in private. The pattern of unprovoked arrogance even extends to the world of beloved educational television personalities, whose public brands are built entirely on science, logic, and intellectual mentorship for the younger generation. An elementary school teacher, who had dedicated her entire life to educating children, attended a prestigious out-of-state educational awards ceremony and happened to step into an elevator with television icon Bill Nye. Thrilled to see the man who had inspired so many of her own classroom lessons, the sweet elderly teacher smiled and tried to say a polite hello. The television personality reportedly ignored her completely, staring blankly ahead and refusing to acknowledge her existence for the entire duration of the elevator ride, leaving a dedicated educator deeply hurt by the sheer coldness of a man she had respected for decades. Similarly, a young mother recounted taking her 7-year-old son to a popular fan convention where actress Mikey Madison was appearing. The young boy politely approached the actress to ask how she was doing and what it felt like to be a part of the famous Scream cinematic universe. The actress reportedly refused to smile, giving the young child cold and dismissive one-word answers until another attendee stepped up behind them and paid cold hard cash for a formal autograph. Instantly, the actress's entire attitude shifted into bright smiles, loud laughter, and extreme talkativeness, revealing a deeply mercenary approach to human interaction that left a young child utterly confused. Even actors celebrated for their rugged, down-to-earth personas like action star Jason Momoa have faced severe criticism from fans who encountered them in everyday settings. A worker spotted the actor at a local gas station while he was talking on his mobile phone. While the fan hesitated to approach, a group of men walked up first, and the actor was perfectly pleasant to them, carrying on a full conversation while maintaining his call. However, when the worker politely approached alongside her elderly grandmother, who was a massive lifelong fan of his work, the actor reportedly gave them an incredibly dirty look, thrust his hand directly into their faces, and snapped that he was on the phone with his children, displaying a jarring double standard that left them deeply humiliated. This pattern of total disrespect for shared spaces is echoed by theatergoers who sat directly next to pop superstar Katy Perry during a major Broadway theater performance. The singer reportedly arrived with a loud party of 6 individuals, talked loudly through the entirety of the dramatic stage performance, and left behind the absolute largest, most chaotic mess of garbage and spilled items the venue staff had ever witnessed, showing a complete lack of basic respect for the low-wage workers tasked with cleaning up after them. Ultimately, this massive, viral outpouring of real-world experiences serves as a permanent turning point in how we view the nature of modern fame. It forces us to look past the heavily manufactured public relations statements, the polished social media profiles, and the carefully staged red carpet smiles to see these individuals for who they truly are when the illusion is stripped away. The lesson here is a profound and sobering one for anyone who has ever invested their emotional energy into an untouchable Hollywood icon. While their artistic talents, cinematic performances, and musical achievements can certainly continue to be appreciated from afar, we must always remember that the characters they project to the world are nothing more than highly lucrative commercial brands designed to ensure financial success. When we elevate these ordinary human beings to the status of infallible deities, we set ourselves